Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back once again as we Molt. Super stoked to be here with you guys. Today, we have got something very exciting to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, and that is not training day. No, that is the fact that champions are coming to the game. Super freaking cool. Yeah, before we jump into that, thank you guys for stopping by, hanging out, watching my videos. You already know the deal, the spiel. Get it together if you're real. And support your boy with the code MOLT in the shop of any of Supercell's games. I appreciate you guys for doing that legit. Before you guys buy anything in the shop, make sure you're supporting your favorite creator. It can be me, it can be anybody, but just make sure you're supporting your favorite creator because it really does help all of us. It helps us continue doing this for a living, like legit. So I appreciate you guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and look at this real quick, okay? So here's what I want you to do because I'm sure you've already seen some of the information on it, but obviously I'm going to give you my perspective as well. And if y'all are watching this, then you probably either care about my perspective or you just want to hear it so that you can make fun of me, which is fine by me. I'm totally fine with either of them. So what I want you guys to do is comment down below right now how you feel about it, okay? Comment down below how you feel about the champions. Are they good for the game? What do you think about that? And then also let me know your favorite type of potato chips, okay? And then while y'all do that, I'm going to go ahead and just read a couple things, okay? So first I'm going to read some of these, and then I'm going to show you some clips of the champions as well. So champions have entered the arena. They are a new rarity with unique features and abilities that you can unlock at King level 14. How do they work? Champions will start from level 11 when you unlock them and can be upgraded the same way as any other card in the game. Their abilities can be activated by tapping the ability button just above your deck. That's cool. Make sure you use it correctly because they cost elixir. Interesting. Champions are so unique that you can only have one of them in your deck, and you can only have one deployed at any time. We're gonna get back to that. I think that's gonna be an interesting point. That means when you have deployed a champion, it stays out of the card cycle until it is destroyed. Now this is super cool. Hats off. I just want to start off by saying this. I'm amped on champions, okay? But I think there's always room for constructive criticism and also future sight, okay? They say that hindsight is 20/20, okay? But future sight is very important as well. Trying to predict things and trying to prevent past problems from happening again, okay? That's the type of stuff we're going to talk about here. But it says even if you're not King level 14, you will be able to play with champions in 3 separate challenges that will start when the update goes live. Dope. Like, freaking sick. Yes, good job. I think that's brilliant. I think that's so incredibly smart, and I absolutely love it. Each challenge will contain 2 parts, and you'll need to complete the first part of the challenge to enter the next stage, and then we're going to talk about gold and stuff like that. But real quick, let's go ahead and look at the Archer Queen, the Golden Knight, and the Skeleton King. The Skeleton King. Let's listen to this. Pretty cool. Champion, troop, 2 elixir ability, costs 4 elixir. Does AoE damage. Looks like he can kill 3 things at a time. Pretty cool. And then, after killing all those and filling up that bar above his head, he can summon all of those back to life and completely dominate. But then he can also be killed very easily. Area damage, hit points, ground, melee medium, etc., etc. The King of the Undead himself, he sometimes feels lonely. Could be due to his non-flattering features. I think he's handsome. Look at those teeth. Will summon friends to join him in the battle even after death. Tough guys have feelings too. Okay, Skeleton King. Pretty cool. Ah, the Golden Knight. Does he have anything? He doesn't have a cool little intro? Maybe some of the other thing. Okay, Champion Troop. 1 elixir ability. Okay. Cool. 4 elixir guy. And he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holy! Sick. Golden. Boom. So, he has to kill it. He has to kill the unit. Cool. Damage, ground, melee, etc., etc. A warrior with luxurious hair and outstanding flexibility. Demonstrates his aerobics. I was going to say aerobatics, but that's not a thing. Aerobics Skills on demand. Cool. Golden Knight. How you guys feel about him? All right, Archer Queen. 1 elixir ability, 5 elixir, so she's the most expensive. But her ability is cheaper than the Skeleton Kings. This is pretty cool. Check this out. She goes yeet, yeet, cloak, yeet, 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 just like starts spamming, and then P.E.K.K.A comes back. That's nasty, man. 6 elixir to counter that P.E.K.K.A, though. Dies to a lightning spell. Hilarious. Range 5, air, ground, etc. Yeah, she's fast, deadly, hard to catch. Be aware of her crossbow bolts and try not to blink, because you might just miss her. So, continue typing down below. If that's the first time that y'all have seen any of those things, let me know how you feel about the heroes, about the champions. I think they're pretty cool. They're not too expensive, which makes me happy. I mean, obviously, I guess it is like 6 elixir for the queen to be herself and use her abilities. So there's that, but you know, it is what it is. I think that they're cool. I think that as of right now, they look really, really good. Okay. Now, the thing that I want to talk about, that I've talked about many, many times in this game, and this is where we're gonna kind of move into opinions and thinking about the fact that there are lots of people that play games like this, and I'm a hand talker. Have you guys ever noticed that? Like, me doing this was signifying like a row, like a semicircle of people sitting around playing a game. I don't know, it's what my mind does. But there are lots of opinions for games like this, okay? And all of them are important. My opinion is important, and your opinion is important. And right now, yours is not a singular person. There are lots of people watching this video, and all of y'all's opinions are important. And all of us agree on some stuff and disagree on some stuff, okay? Some of us absolutely hate Expo Cycle decks and think they should be deleted from the freaking game. Some people absolutely love Expo Cycle decks and think that they're great for the game. And both of our opinions on that are important. And it's the team's job to balance both of those opinions and maybe make one side happy for a little bit, and then maybe make the other side happy for a little bit, or maybe figure out a way to make both sides happy, which is definitely possible. It's possible to make both sides happy, in my opinion. One of those ways that I've mentioned in the past is being able to prevent yourself from seeing a certain archetype for like a week if you just want to take a break. I don't think that would mess up matchmaking. I think since everybody has different opinions, some people hate Hog, some people hate Electro Giant, some people hate Golem, some people hate Expo, some people hate Goblin Barrel. Like, it wouldn't mess up the, the cycle of people playing if I was able to ban seeing Expo for a week because I just wanted a break from seeing it. You know what I mean? So I think that would be one way to please both sides. Like, okay, I'm kind of fed up with it. I'm going to take a break from it, whatever. That's a completely different point entirely, but that was just me saying there are ways to please both sides in the situation. So here we go. Opinion time and constructive criticism time, okay? So, adding a new thing to your deck, okay? I've talked about this in the past. An example of that would be someone who used to play Giant Sparky. And then the Goblin Giant came out, and they put Goblin Giant in instead of Giant. Is that a new experience for anyone, really? Because 12.5% of the deck changed with something already unique and similar to what it was before? No. So, like, when things like that come out, I don't think that they're even remotely impactful to the game or the meta or anything. I just think that people change it. Kind of like when Flying Machine came out and people would put it in Golem decks or whatever and take out the Baby Dragon. It's like, cool, I'm still facing Golem Night Witch Mega Minion decks with Lumberjack. Awesome, neat, I appreciate it. Happy Flying Machine's out though. So I think that that's something to kind of think about and have in the back of our minds as we approach champions. Now, in a vacuum, I think the champions are brilliant. I think that they did an unbelievable job with them. And you guys know that I speak honestly here, okay? So I'm not fluffing somebody's pillow by saying that. I'm legitimately saying they're dope, and I love them, and I think the abilities are great. And I was worried, like, I knew champions were gonna come to the game eventually, and I was worried that when they did, they would only come out with one, and they would just be like, here's the Barbarian King from Clash of Clans. And I was like, that would have been the biggest fail ever if they did something like that. Or if they just did Archer Queen. Like, I think that would have flopped and everybody would have been done. Like, that would have been really bad. And so I am ecstatic that they came out with 3 champions at a time, threw them all at us, and they're all completely different. I think that that's rad. I think that that's good. I think that needs to happen with cards, because I think it's way more impactful when you have 3 things that people are excited to try out than one thing that can just replace something else in somebody's deck. And that's one thing that's kind of difficult about these champions, is because it's just one thing that's going to replace something in somebody's deck, but it would be way too powerful if you could have all of them in your deck. So I totally agree with the sentiment to only having one in your deck. I think that's important. But all that to say, I think my biggest worry is the fact that, let's compare Clash Royale to a pizza, okay? You got a pizza. A good pizza. It's a good pizza. But it's been sitting out for 2 weeks. Okay? Man, it was good 2 weeks ago. But it's been sitting out for 2 weeks. It's kind of stale. It's starting to kind of smell weird. It's cold at this point. Okay? And then the chef comes in. He's got some new toppings. Woo! He's got some new toppings. He comes in, he puts those new toppings on the pizza. You're like, that's what I'm talking about. You take a bite, and you're like, what the heck is this? Are you kidding me? What the heck is this? And you're like, I mean, the pizza's stale. The cheese is old. It's cold. But these new toppings are good. I'm going to take these new toppings off and eat them. Okay? So one of my worries with this is that in a vacuum, the heroes are sick. The heroes are those new toppings that the chef just brought out, and they're like, look at this. And you're like, yeah, what are you gonna put it on? I'm gonna put it on the old pizza. No, please don't put it on the old pizza. And you put it on the old pizza, okay? Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen with these champions, okay? I do think that they are going to do good things for the game. But if they leave it at that, then I think it's going to end up like new toppings on an old pizza, and people are just going to go order a new pizza because the new toppings aren't good enough by themselves on top of that old pizza, okay? So if you're somebody like me who plays the game for the full experience, I don't play this game to beat people. I don't play this game to be the best. I don't play this game to push up in ladder or anything like that. I play it to have fun. And it's extremely boring whenever I get on and I start playing and I face Hog Cycle and then Log Bait, and then I see P.E.K.K.A. Bridge Spam, and then I see Log Bait again, and then I see a different version of Log Bait, and then I see a different version of Hog Cycle. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. That's me. I'm one of those opinions in that semicircle, okay? I'm a piece of the pie when it comes to the opinions of the game and my desire from it. Now, pros don't give a crap about any of that kind of stuff. Some of them do, and that's why so many of them have quit. Like Surgical, Electrify, so many more that I can think of that are just gone because they got bored with the game because of stuff kind of like that. And so my worry is that people will take the prince, okay? People will come up here, they'll say, Golden Knight, cool. He's only 4 elixir, not too shabby. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my Log Bait deck. I'm gonna take out 12% of it, okay? 12% of it, which is almost 10%. If I took a dime away from your dollar, you'd still have 90 cents, and you'd be like, I still kind of got $1. Like, I got a lot, okay? So it's not that impactful, okay? So somebody takes their Log Bait deck, and they take out the Knight, okay? Take out that 3 elixir Knight, and they put the Prince in, okay? and then I face that deck. Is that going to be new and exciting for me? Am I going to have a new experience with the game as a whole? No. 12% of that experience will be new. They'll still be throwing goblin barrels at me. They'll still be trying to get me to log the princess and the goblin gang and the goblin barrel. And if I don't have both of those, blah, 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 I'm going to be annoyed. And then awesome. But at least I got to see a golden knight, right? And so my worries with this is that after the first 2 weeks to month that this comes out and people are stoked and they've been having fun playing with it and everything, and they're figuring things out, and it's going to be a blast eventually, if the team doesn't change something about the core gameplay and the metas that have been around for way too long, we need to start balancing off of boredom, not off of whether something is used a lot, okay? Hawk Cycle's had its time. It needs to be shifted. Log Bait has had its time. It needs to be shifted, especially if we're adding all this gold into the system and people can level up cards and start using new metas. But if they do that and they realize that their Log Bait deck is still the strongest, and they're just going to keep playing that, and it's not going to change the game. And so I think that it is very, very incredibly important that after the first 2 weeks to a month of this massive update that is in itself really good and really exciting, first 2 weeks to a month after this, there needs to be a significant balance change that shifts things completely. Like, it just needs to happen. And I'm saying that from somebody who has been playing this game for longer than any of you watching. I have played this game every single day since it was in beta, and I also played it when it was in alpha, okay? So I've played it a lot. I have a pretty good idea of what works. You've seen the success on my channel. And then the game shifted and started focusing on more pros and competitive stuff, and it kind of just went down. And I think that it is going to be extremely important for the gameplay to just change. We're adding more gold to the game anyways, okay? So people can upgrade their other cards. And I don't know how it needs to be done, but I'm not the game developer. Like, I could definitely be a creative lead of a game. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that I'm creative enough to come up with really good ideas that make games fun. I mean, came up with draft, came up with the miner, came up with other units that have been used in the game. Like, I'm creative enough for that. And I think I know what a lot of people like. And I think that I think a lot about user experience as well in the game. And in my opinion, people get tired of seeing the same thing, and that's why they move on to other games. They get tired of seeing the same thing. And so even though I might have fun playing with the Golden Knight, will that in itself trump me facing someone using Golem Night Witch, Baby Dragon, Mega Minion, and they just have the Archer Queen in that deck? Is that going to be a new enough, fun enough experience for me to continue to invest my time and my money into the game? I don't know. And that's the question that I want you guys to kind of talk about. I want there to be a conversation down below. I want y'all to let me know how you feel about my opinion. Again, as a whole and in a vacuum, I think the team did an absolutely astounding and stellar job with this update. And I think that it is really, really good. But I think that it's going to be very important to be preventative, okay? Like when you start feeling like you have a cold coming on, you start taking medicine to help it not be as bad in the future, okay? If you wait until it's too bad, then it's hard to fix. So I think the team needs to start taking some of that cold medicine now to prevent some of the things that can happen in the future, because this is a massive update. And they put in so much work, and I think they freaking nailed it. I think that they absolutely nailed it. But you can't just stop there. You have to think about what's coming next and how this update that you nailed, how it's going to be in a month or two. if people are going to be excited to play these champions if they're still in the same old decks. Are they going to be excited about these new toppings on the old pizza? You guys comment down below. Let me know how y'all feel. I'm amped. I'm stoked. I'm just trying to think in the future, kind of like I always do. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate y'all's support. See you on the next one. Peace out.